Afternoon, everybody. Stephen Howson, Sunday paper review. Got the Times, Sunday Times, front page. It's got Guardiola and Rooney on it. There's nothing in the actual paper itself, actually, that I couldn't really talk about. I wanted to do more than just sport today, but there's absolutely fuck all. A little bit on grammar schools, don't know enough about it. It was before my generation when they had the different comprehensives and grammar and stuff like that, so I have no idea if it's a good thing. My dad went to a grammar school. That's literally all I know about grammar school, so I'm not going to talk about that one. So we're just going straight into the sports section. Manchester Derby, front and centre, as you can probably expect on there. On the back of the sport, a little bit about Triple G facing Kell Brook. Haven't seen the fight. I was getting fucked around Royal last night trying to sort out the stream for MMA Latest. It took me 5 hours of sorting the stream out. I had loads of problems. Starts the stream. We get 11 minutes into it and we get a copyright claim from the UFC. Nice one. The copyright is absolute bullshit because the whole thing is me on Skype talking to another one of our reporters in front of that MMA backdrop that's over there. There's no copyright. There is absolutely zero copyright thing. It's bullying from the UFC because they don't want people to have alternate commentary. The last one we did 1 million views. And it's bullshit. They put a copyright claim on it. You respond. They don't have to do anything to it until December. So you're completely fucked and it stops you being able to... we're not allowed now to do a live stream for 3 months until this gets resolved. They did this to us in the Conor McGregor one, but they didn't pull it during the stream. They pulled it the morning after. I complained and it got reinstated, but it was off for about a week. So you're losing all that traffic, you're losing all those potential subscribers, and it's a fucking pain in the ass to put top and bottom of it. So I missed the boxing last night because I was trying to sort that out. What a fucking waste of time it was. But actually, while we're talking about this, we are going to talk a little bit about last night's UFC. CM Punk got completely and utterly fucking ruined, didn't he? Absolutely ruined. Like, he didn't look like he had an inkling of a clue. Mickey Gall is ranked 1,165th in the welterweight division in the world. That was the guy that they put him up against. That is a rookie. You know, you're not talking about anyone that's a fucking stone cold killer, anyone who's going to be going for a title fight in the next 3-4 years. You're talking about a rookie. Now, he's not a rookie in terms of his fighting experience. He has got MMA experience. He's had 2 fights previously, one in the UFC. He is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu, so he's got to know what's going on. And he had the perfect game plan. Punk come out, rushed him. He just hit him with a double, took him down, and then just went to work on him. You could see the difference between the poxy little shots that CM Punk was trying to throw to him. There's no point trying to throw from the bottom. You might as well just move to advance your position because no one's ever won a fight by striking from the bottom. You can't generate enough power. You can probably cut someone and get some elbows from there, but you're best off on working, just improving your position instead of trying to throw strikes. Punk got giddy, started throwing a few strikes, and then Mickey Gall hit him with a couple of bombs, and you've seen the difference in level just of the striking power that Mickey Gall was able to muster. And then obviously he kept working. He turned over, hit him from the back a little bit. Punk gave up his neck, and he gave him the easy option to tap out. 2.5 minutes in. Lasted about a minute longer than I thought it would last, in all honesty. But it did go exactly as I thought it was going to go. I actually thought it'd be a little bit more stand-up than there was. He literally just took him straight down, but I thought he was going to end up getting choked out and put away early doors like that. And what can you say? I hope that the UFC doesn't go into these freak shows more often because it's a fucking joke. We'll stick with the UFC for a second. Stipe Miocic become the first man to successfully defend the UFC heavyweight title in 3 years. Now it looks like they're going to be facing off against Kane. That's going to be an interesting matchup. Not sure how that one's going to go down, but excited for it. Don't know when they're likely to be doing that. So let's get into the papers, because obviously the Times fucking completely denying the existence of mixed martial arts. On the back you got a little bit about the boxing, and I think there's something else on here. I was on the front. So a little bit about Brook and Triple G, and then more fighting at the Olympic Stadium with West Ham. Now we saw this on their opening night, wasn't it? That there was people banging each other in the crowd already. The fucking hell's wrong with you, West Ham fans? Like, why are you fighting amongst yourselves in the stand? Like, I I have no words for you. Twice in like a month. Sort your fucking selves out. There was a video emerged from yesterday of people in the northern quarter in Manchester kicking off. You can hear them shouting City. It's probably City and United. Don't know which side's which. But it's fucking pathetic. What are you doing? That posturing, that little fucking what sort of fucking dance that people do before they're kicking off in the street. Throwing bin bags and chairs at each other and fucking bread crates. Have a fucking word. Can you imagine losing your job and going to jail and all the rest of it because you fucking had a dust up in town over nothing? You're fucking idiotic, honestly. It never enters my head. I fucking hate City, I hate Liverpool. It's never entered my head to go fucking kicking off and fighting at a football match. Like, what is wrong with you? Go for the sport. Enjoy the fucking sport. Go on the piss with your mates. Why are you having a fucking fight in town about it afterwards? I don't fucking know. Anyway, that's enough of that one. The first 2 pages, as you would expect, is all talking about the Manchester derby. The big one seems to be, we're going with Pep 2, Jose 1 as the main headline. The talking point is Mourinho fumes over Clattenburg. Now I've actually watched the 2 incidents on TV myself. The handball one, I've seen them given when people have turned their back. I think Michael Carrick had one given like that when he was looking the other way and it hit his hand against Chelsea, I want to say. And yeah, it's handball. Technically it's handball, whether it was intentional or not. It's fucking handball, so you can see the argument for it. Difficult to see the angle he was turned and stuff like that. And I've seen the dive now from Bravo. I thought Rooney clipped him, in all honesty. From where I was sat, it looked like he clipped him. Now I've seen that it's a dive. Ridiculous. And then the replay of the one where he goes to ground with Rooney in the box. He jumps into it. Feet are off the ground. Studs are up. That is as fucking clear an offence as you're ever going to fucking see, in all honesty. And yeah, 2 penalty shouts. Arguably a red card shout. And if not, you know, it's a booking, and then the other ones are a booking as well for the dive. So you're potentially looking at getting sent off whichever way you fucking paint it. I don't want to spend too much time in it because I think Gaz said yesterday these things even themselves out over the season. They actually don't even themselves out over the season. That's been proven that they don't even themselves out. Bad decisions are bad decisions, but you can't do anything about them. So Mourinho's right to address it in his press conference, but you have to fucking close the book on it and then move on. So that's what I'm going to do. Close the book and move on. There was an interesting bit of an article. I mean, there's no insight really into anything that happened in the match in the paper. Jonathan Northcroft is the one that's written in here. And some of the scores that he's give players, I don't fucking get them, in all honesty. I think they're absolutely laughable. But whatever. It says Mkhitaryan's failed his audition. I thought Mkhitaryan looked okay with the ball at his feet yesterday, but I thought he looked well off the pace defensively and totally disjointed when it came to the team. But yeah, we'll move on from the Manchester derby because obviously we've covered that, and I'm sure I'll be covering it during the week as well. Cameron Borthwick-Jackson made his debut yesterday for Wolves, and I'll talk about this more in depth in the youth review on Thursday. But he made his debut for Wolves and he got man of the match. So, as we thought, good move for Cameron. Getting game time, proving his ability. Fantastic. Buzzing for the lad. Jack Wilshere made a cameo yesterday as Bournemouth won 1-0. Elsewhere, Liverpool slapped Leicester 4-1. Don't know what's going on there with Leicester. They're adrift at the moment, aren't they? Let's just say that they are properly adrift at the moment. Was it a one-season wonder? Was Vardy right to stick around? Was Mahrez right to stick around? They was never going to repeat the title, was there? The best that they could hope for was to stick around in the top 4 and then try and build on what they've done. Losing Kante was going to be a hell of a blow. They've clearly not replaced Kante adequately enough. And I think they're going to struggle. I definitely think they come out of that top 5, possibly even the top 6 as well now. So that's that. Tottenham won 4-0 at Stoke, which leaves Mark Hughes and Stoke now languishing and not looking very good for it either. Old Firm Derby, which has fell off massively, hasn't it, the Old Firm Derby? I remember that used to be a bit of an event, the Old Firm Derby. And I think Rangers' time out of the top flight and just the crumbling nature of Scottish football at the moment has meant that this once massive game is now a proper afterthought, isn't it? I mean, 5-1's a nightmare. Losing 5-1 like that, anything like that in a derby is a fucking killer, innit? But it does seem like the Old Firm derby's massively far off. And I don't know how Scotland turns it around, in all honesty. I don't know if there's too many teams, if maybe Rangers and Celtic need to be moved into the English league system to give the other clubs in Scotland a chance of success, and maybe that would bring in some interest, because I imagine if you're a Hearts fan, a Hibs fan, a St Johnstone fan, a Dundee fan, something like that, you'd be like, what's the fucking point? Because you can't really compete. Aberdeen under Sir Alex Ferguson managed to split the Old Firm, didn't they? But it's rare. It's proper rare that anyone gets the opportunity to do anything like that. So is them two being in the league a detriment to that league? Now, on the face of things, you'll say no, and why the fuck should we have Scottish teams in England, and why would they want to come to England? Well, it would be more competitive for them. And I think it'd probably, in the long term, do Scottish football some good, in all honesty. It was shit when Celtic was just winning it because they didn't have Rangers to compete with them. It's shit when it's just Rangers and Celtic. And I think you need to do something to revive Scottish football. I don't know if Scottish football needs to include some sort of quota of homegrown players and force its own people to make massive investments into their academies. And you might see some real good Scottish footballers coming through, because where's the likes of Dennis Law and Souness and all the top Scottish players that you've had down the years? Where are they coming from now? Because it seems like Scottish football has got a bit of a lack of a superstars. Not that England hasn't, because England's also got the same problem as well. And I think it's indicative of the whole British Isles at the moment that other nations are overtaking us in football and that. And I think if you don't address it, you just allow it to slip even further. So, but the Old Firm one really intrigues me. And it is a derby I'd still like to go and witness with my own eyes. They happen about 6 times a season, don't they? So maybe I'll try and see if I can get up for one of them this season. There was a good column by Graham Souness in here. And if you remember in the Times, if I can find it, they have the page that sort of floats, don't they? Which I now can't find. I'm sure it's there somewhere. There we go. They have this one page. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they can't just make even number of pages for the sports section, but they always have this one singular page that's a floating page. It talks a little bit about Barcelona losing to Alaves, which is kind of embarrassing, at home as well. Doesn't generally happen over in La Liga. It also talks about a Dundee United keeper saving 3 penalties. Yes, lad. Top weekend for you. Where are we? There was something I wanted to talk about. I can't find it now. Graham Souness. Hart will do well. Does he say well? Do fine. Until he makes his first mistake. They've already had their first game and apparently he's already fucked it up. So, nice one, Graham. Fucked it for him. And then there's a little bit about Hatem Ben Arfa refinding his form over in Paris. And that's about that. Joe Hart in Italy is a strange one, isn't it? And Micah Richards' foray over into Italy, I didn't even know that he'd been over there, to be honest. That was so low-key, wasn't it? Italian football, when I was growing up, in the 90s, was the shit, wasn't it? AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juventus, Sampdoria even. All these teams, Lazio, Parma, they've completely fucking fell off the... that's where Zola came from. I think Thuram was there at one point. Like, all of these great sides, dominating in Europe, difficult places to go to. When United beat Juventus in 1999, they was the best team in the world. That's what made it so good, that we came from behind against them in the Stadio dell'Alpi, which was what made all the difference. It was madness to do it. It's like coming from behind against Bayern Munich or Barcelona at the moment, in their own park. That was what was such a big deal about it, to get to the final of the Champions League. And the corruption, I think mostly the corruption, but also I think the lack of TV revenue. I think it's all relative, but I think the corruption is at the heart of it. Once you start relegating teams, stripping teams of titles, deducting points from people, you've fucking ruined the integrity of the league, haven't you? So who's going to want to invest in a league that's dirty? And I think that's the problem that they're finding. Their attendances would make City blush at the moment. Their attendances are absolutely dog shit. And it's a tenner to go to most of these places. And they can't get anybody in them. And I think a lot of it is down to just the pure corruption. And I'm sad about it, because in the 90s it was fucking fantastic, wasn't it? Like, you think original Ronaldo there, Del Piero, Zidane, Davids, all of these fucking amazing players. Baggio, Ravanelli, Vialli, all of them players coming out of that country, and it must have been it was probably as competitive as what the Premier League looks like now in the 90s, and you can see the attraction of people wanting to go there. But it's fucked at the moment, and I don't know how they get back on the up and up. They're suffering a little bit, I think, because Juventus dominance means that nobody else gets a look in terms of winning a title, and that can harm a league as well. You have to have a competitive league, otherwise there's not a lot of interest, is there? And the Premier League's competitive as fuck at the moment, which is why I think that it is the best league around the world. Doesn't mean that the teams are the best. 10 years ago, we was sort of in the middle of a cycle of where we ended up with a finalist in every single season of the Champions League, and it stretched for 8 or 9 years with us having finalists, showing how dominant the Premier League was. We fell off that in recent years. We've not been as competitive, but we will get it back because the teams, the managers, the players, the money being spent in the Premier League means that the Premier League will get back on the top again in Champions League. You're looking at competing against 4 teams, really. 5, arguably. You've got the 3 teams from Spain in Atletico, Barca and Real Madrid. You've got Juventus, you've got Bayern Munich, and then push Paris. But Paris, they're on about the same sort of level as the top teams in England. Your City, your Arsenal. Although maybe not this year with Spurs and with Leicester, but with United and Chelsea usually in the mix as well. You're looking at teams all being around that same sort of mark. But I think I can see United and City at least, and Chelsea next season when we all get back in there. I can see us being competitive and splitting those teams, splitting and beating Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. But either way, Premier League's going to be interesting this year. Champions League's going to be interesting this year. Love to see how Ancelotti's going to do with the team that he's got at his disposal. He loves a European Cup win, loves a cup win in general, and can pretty much afford to toss it off for the league. It's going to be that easy for that squad. I mean, the strength and depth in that Bayern Munich squad makes you want to run cup, doesn't it? It's absolutely amazing. That will do for today. The vlog is out in the morning. I'm going to schedule it tonight. I've literally just finished editing it, so I can schedule that after this one goes up. That's going to go 8 or 9 o'clock. I'll set that to release. Some behind the scenes stuff from what I was doing yesterday with Premier League TV and stuff, so please check that out. I left it a week to make sure I got some interesting stuff in it, because the week before literally got absolutely fuck all. Big shout out to the wife. She's gone and competed, whatever you want to call it, in Tough Mudder today, Northwest. Not fucking seen her all day, so congratulations. And I think that'll do for this week, won't it? If you're new here, please give it a like. The schedule's working really well. I don't know about you guys. You guys keep showing up and watching all the videos. The numbers we're doing at the moment are absolutely fucking mint. So I'm really happy that I'm getting the views that I'm getting. But I think the schedule's the backbone of it. We have Sunday, we do the Sunday paper review. Monday, we do the vlog. Tuesday, we do a transfer talk, usually. Wednesday, there'll be a match preview go up. That's going to change this week with Europa and stuff. Thursday, we do a youth review. Friday, we do the Snapchat Q&A. Saturday, there's probably going to be a match review, more or less, if we're playing on the Saturdays. So the weekly schedule is working really well for us. Every Thursday night now as well, we're doing a podcast. This one's not gone on iTunes at the moment because I've just moved over to Audio Boom from who I was hosting it with previously. They will all be on iTunes very soon, and I've got some absolutely belting guests lined up. So let us know who you want to see on the podcast. Sam Homewood's coming doing one, Ian Smith's coming doing one, Squawker Dave, Cheeky Sport Dave, they've all agreed to come and do one. I spoke to Alex Stepney, former Manchester United goalkeeper, on Saturday yesterday at the match. He's going to come and do one for us. We got tons of people. I've got that football agent John Smith I'm doing one with this week, and then every Thursday me and Ben are going to sit down, we're going to have a couple of tins, and we're just going to chat utter shit. So please check those out. Putting a lot of effort now into, I think the YouTube channel's running quite well, quite happy with it, until FIFA comes out and the new Football Manager comes out. Oh, and there's something I can't tell you about just yet on that, on Footy Manager that is. Until all they come out, the schedule will be fixed as it is. Once they come out, we'll be doing a bit more gaming in there as well, but really trying to put a lot of effort into the podcast, because I think there's a lot of areas for growth there. And I can't always get people on video to talk to them, but I can always phone them up and get them up on Skype And I think that's, you get some really interesting content. It's not just me talking shit to you, it's other people talking shit to you as well. So thank you. If you're new here, please subscribe. Please give it a thumbs up. Get your comments in below and we'll get some discussion going like we always do. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in a bit.